Okay, so I am here with Brother Wilson, and we have been attending a training or a gathering of movement leaders, and he is a movement leader from Uganda. And yesterday we went on a safari together and we were talking on the bus, and he was sharing with me some things which I thought I really want the people who are watching me on Facebook to hear from him. Because Wilson, I often get that question about how do you disciple people who have issues of addiction and who come out of prostitution. I know you have seen many movements in the slum communities working with these kind of people. So tell us, what are some of the keys to reaching these kind of people, discipling them?
Yeah, the most important thing is to go to any community as a learner. You don't go there to dictate, you don't go there to, to push your own agenda, but you go there to love them. And you go there to learn from them because they have their way of living. They have been surviving like that for a long time. So it's good to go there with respect as a learner and learn from them so that you influence them through learning from them. The other thing that is very key is that you don't impose on them things that you own, things that you come to just impose on them, but you have to go there and through them, because they have already networks that are going on. They have leadership that is going on. They have people who influence them. So it's good to go through their own networks, to respect their leaders, and then through those leaders, you are able to work and redeem the network that is meant for evil to Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this sounds very strange to some people. To work through the network of the drug addicts, the ones who are selling drugs, using their network to spread the gospel. Can you tell us like an example of how you did that, or a little bit more about that? Because I think that's a very new idea for some people. Okay,
like the guy called Ghost. Ghost, lost the dad when he was 2 years, lost the mom when he was 3 years to 8. And so he grew up in the ghetto. He started taking drugs when he was 9 years. He's now about 27, so he's been taking drugs almost his life. And he knows where every ghetto is. He commands and everyone obeys him. And he was selling drugs to different ghettos, so he had a cartel. So when I met them, I told them that, why don't we become a cartel for Jesus?
Wow.
Instead of being
a cartel for Jesus.
Yes, instead of being cartels for drugs. So that was able to translate into their heads that, oh, this is a cartel, but a different cartel that redeems lives. So they were able to click and come on board. And these guys had a network through which they were selling drugs. Yeah, they had ways, they had people who would go and know where to sell. So through that network, we use the same network, pray through the same network, so that we redeem Ghost. The moment Ghost knew, he reached us, his friend Hashim. Hashim is totally Muslim. And then Hashim reached a friend who is called Ibrahim, totally Muslim. Then Ibrahim reached Zaga. So Zaga reached, a prostitute.
Wow.
So the generations went on like that. That's how we went on spreading to about 14 generations in the ghetto.
14
different
generations
in the ghetto.
Did they eventually leave their life of drugs as they met Jesus?
Yes.
Right. So
that's a hard thing. And, the whole thing is not, for me, I realized that the whole story about drugs is not to make people leave drugs. Because there are many people who are not taking drugs, they don't steal. They are good people, but they don't know Jesus. So what I do first is to make sure that they get introduced to Jesus. The moment they get Jesus, they see that some of these things are no. So I walk a journey with them. I start, if someone has been taking drugs, for example, like 10 times a day, I say, okay, are you willing to leave this? They say, yes. Why don't we walk a journey together? And then I start, okay, now this month, can we be doing only 9 times? So they become accountable. Are you doing 9? Only 9, say, or 9. Then we reduce 8. We go on reducing, because leaving drugs is not something simple. So we make sure we go on and walk a journey with them, because discipleship is simply walking a journey with somebody. And as long as they're accountable, as long as they're obedient, that's very, very key to their success. So I've seen this change by just walking a journey and
Wow.
making these guys accountable. So Hashim totally off drugs, Ibrahim off drugs, Shami off drugs, Zaga off drugs. Wow. So it has been, I've seen that transformation without me pushing it, but Jesus touching their lives.
Amen.
So that they see it's not about the drugs, but it's about Jesus.
Amen.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Brother Wilson. It's really a great help to so many people.
Yeah.
I love what you said, walking a journey with people,
Yeah.
introducing them to Jesus, and step by step, they are reaching others who are in their oikos. They already are connected to them because maybe they sold drugs to them, but now they're reaching them, and multiple generations happening. May we see that in many more countries and more in Uganda also. Thank you.
And the other thing, shortly, it's the same thing with the prostitutes and any other, social group that you can meet. Even the drugs, the moment you reach the top person, he orders the other ones and they come. He orders the other person to follow through. So it's important to get the leader of any social group, so that you influence them.
Right. So even with prostitutes, are you talking about the pimps?
Yes.
The ones who are selling them, contacting them, introducing them to Jesus?
When you get those,
you can spread. Wow.
Rather than starting from down, someone who is not influential, they will not be able, they will stay with Jesus, but it will only be them. But when you start from the top, it goes all the way down.
Wow. Well, thank you so much. I'm sure we could talk for many hours, but maybe next time we'll have you on the podcast for a longer interview. Thank you, Wilson.
Thank you very much. May God bless you.